I think you can be an animal lover, but to be specific to a specific kind of animal. Yeah, I'm not
Dog and cat lover.
dog and cat only. We have evolved as a like eating animals, meat, and vegetables, greens. So it's hard to stick to the greens only, and it's hard to avoid eating meat. And I think it's going to take a very long time. I eat beef, chicken, and chicken, fish, and pork. It's really bad. That's an actual animal abuse. That's sad. That's ruthless. That's same as like Holocaust. It's very tragic for them. It's horrible. It's horrible to watch as well. It's a very tragic death. I never knew that.
Hi everyone, this is Sheena and I'm here with Jigme and his dog Hachi. And Jigme saw my sign, 3 questions for animal lovers, and agreed to sit down and chat. So are you ready to get started?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Okay, so the first question is, what do you think about animal abuse or people that abuse animals?
It shouldn't be done. It shouldn't, because most of animals, especially dogs, they are very loyal to their owners.
How about other animals?
Other animals, for example, like cats. I don't know. I've never seen people abusing cats, but a lot of people, especially in some countries, they they eat animals. It's very unfair to the animals. They have to live a life, right? Eating animals and abusing animals, I'm against it. But I wish everybody in the world becomes a vegetarian or vegan. But it's really hard to practice that because we have evolved as eating animals, meat, and vegetables, greens. So it's hard to stick to the greens only. It's hard to avoid eating meat. I think it's going to take a very long time.
So that actually brings me to my next question. Are there any industries where you pay for animals to be abused? And by that I mean, do you consume meat, dairy, eggs, and fish?
I do. I do eat meat and dairy. It's a way of living, right?
But does it have to be?
It doesn't have to be. The energy source from the vegetables, I think it's not enough. It's not only enough to the people who's used to eating meat, right, for a very long time. So, and some people don't have the will to,
They don't have the drive to do it.
They don't have to drive to do it.
How about you? Do you have the drive to do it? You mentioned earlier that you would hope people would move towards vegetarian or even vegan.
Yeah.
So how about you? What stops you from moving in that direction?
It's about the people I'm living with, around my environment. Some people eat meat. I've been growing up eating meat and vegetables both, right? It's an influence, around me. If I live by myself, I would be fine eating only vegetables.
If the people around you, your influence, if they were eating dog, would you eat dog?
Oh no, I wouldn't eat dog because I love dogs.
What is the moral difference between eating a chicken or a pig or a cow and a dog?
I don't think there is a moral difference, but all the animals are same, but we have been used to eating those animals. We have been with the dog. I mean, we consider dog as only pet, not to some things to eat it.
Do you think to the animal that is dying for your meal, say a chicken or a pig or a cow, do you think it matters to them that they can't be your companion animal? This one can be your companion animal, but do you think an animal's ability to be a companion should determine their worth of life?
Yeah, it shouldn't determine worth living. We have been, since we were hunter and gatherer. Back in the history, we have been the first pet, the animal that we take to hunt and other animals. It's dog, because I've read that in book. So we have been consider some animals as a pet and some animals that we can eat, right? Yeah. So it's made up all animals are same, but it's made by humans, like us humans. Yeah.
Exactly. They're same in the ways of their ability to feel pain, their ability to suffer. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, and we have our conditioning determines which animals we eat and which animals we don't, as well as our culture determines which animals we eat and which animals we don't. But is there really a moral difference between the two?
Moral difference? No, I don't think so. All the animals are same.
Which animals do you eat?
I eat beef, chicken, and chicken, fish, and pork.
Can I show you a video on the pork industry?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
This is standard practice in pig farming. So these are the gestation crates that the pigs are kept in for their entire pregnancy. They never get to go outside. These are the farrowing crates. Once they have their babies, they're again not able to move around, not able to properly nurse their babies. This is standard practice.
It's really bad. That's an actual animal abuse. That's sad.
So what they're doing here is they're smashing the baby pigs against the ground. Those are the runts of the litter.
That's ruthless. I never expected people abuse the pig slaughter. They abuse pig like this. I've never expected. I've never seen it before.
Most people haven't, including myself.
It's ruthless. That's same as Holocaust. It's very tragic for them. It's horrible, to be honest. It's horrible to watch as well.
How did that make you feel?
Made me feel like I'm gonna stop eating pork now. I'm gonna try to eat less meat. Yeah, I'll try my best to be a vegetarian in the future. I hope I can be a vegetarian because I've never seen they abuse pig like this. I've seen the people abusing chickens. Yeah, because they take all the chickens there, the chickens that's gonna be slaughtered in a small box made of metal. I've seen that back home.
Yeah, the caged.
The cage, yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very horrible.
So, you mentioned before about being vegetarian. Can I show you a quick video on the dairy or egg industry?
Yeah, for sure.
So this is the dairy industry.
Sometimes we forget they have feelings like us too. Yeah, it's good to, like you, to make people around here aware of these things.
So when the dairy cow has one baby taken away, 2 babies, 3 babies, she's also killed for beef. When she's only 5 or 6 years old, she can live for 20 years, 25 years. We kill them when they're 5 or 6 years old.
The mothers?
The mothers. When their milk production declines.
Yeah, declines, yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought they keep it for long. It's a very tragic death. They're still not dead yet.
So this happens in organic, in local, in grass-fed. All of the dairy industry kills the boys and will kill the mothers. How did the video of dairy make you feel?
It was horrible. Horrible to watch. It's very difficult to watch, actually. I've never seen this kind of video in YouTube. I don't think YouTube recommends people watching these kind of stuff videos.
Even us watching where our food comes from is too hard for us to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that means we should be naturally taking part in it? Are we natural carnivores?
No, we are not natural carnivores, but we can adjust with our a food source. But we can't do it right away. Tomorrow we want to be a vegetarian. You can decline your consuming meat day after day. So I think it's possible because there are a lot of vegans and vegetarians nowadays because people are aware of these things. So people are taking actions against the animal abuse and the killings. I would try my best to consume less meat, decline my consumption.
As long as the end goal that you're working towards is veganism, because as you saw with the dairy industry, their suffering is a prolonged suffering, and it's the same in the egg industry. There's another video I can show you, but if you've seen enough, that's fine. The egg industry is much the same. There are 2 types of chickens. There's the ones we eat for their flesh. They're called broiler chickens, who are very big, and we've selectively bred them to become very big. Then there's egg layers. So the boys that are born into the egg layers, again, they're a waste product. They don't produce eggs, and they're a different breed to broiler chickens. So do you know what happens to them? They're put on they check if they're male or female. When they're, the little fluffy yellow chicks, they're put on a conveyor belt, and if they're male, they're dropped into a blender alive on their first day of life.
Oh my, I've never knew that before.
So as long as the end goal is to become, is veganism, you do the best that you can. Yeah. So just remember, every time we buy an animal product, we are paying for that animal to be tortured and abused because of us.
Yeah, that's right.
So if I give you some resources, would you be happy to take them?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
One of them is Challenge 22, and you go onto their website and they kind of hook you up with a vegan mentor. You can ask any questions, and there's so many good recipes on there, but there's so many good recipes on many different sites, including YouTube. And happycow.net is an app. You don't even have to install it, just happycow.net, and you put in your current location. It'll tell you all the closest vegan restaurants to you, or ones with vegan options. Yeah, would that be something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. I think the most problem people transforming from consuming meat to being a vegan or vegetarian is they have been used to recipe of a meat and stuff, right, with the food. They don't know about the vegan food, how they make vegan food, and the vegetable food, the recipe, the food they can usually consume every single day. People will get bored with consuming only one kind of food, right? So they need a different kind of recipe. I think if the people become aware of, get the knowledge of making different kind of food with different recipes for vegetarians and vegans, I think it's going to have a huge impact.
A lot of people think that, we just eat, you're cutting out the amount of things that you're eating, because really, in numbers you're stopping meat, dairy, eggs, and fish. You're actually adding a lot more, because now I cook with tofu and tempeh 20 different types of beans that I would have never have cooked with before, vegetables that I'd never heard of before, you actually end up adding a lot more. And the taste pleasure that you get from it is out of this world. I'm eating more diverse and more foods now than I have ever before.
Actually, I've tried a vegan burger at Burger King. It's really good. I love it.
So that brings me actually to the last question. You did say you were an animal lover, the first question. Do you think it's truly possible to be an animal lover while still paying for animals to be abused and killed?
I think you can be an animal lover, but to be specific to a specific kind of animal. Yeah, I'm not
Dog and cat lover.
Dog and cat, only dog. Because we have been evolved as loving only dogs, keeping dog and a cat as a pet, not as not keeping other animals like cows, and they are the only source of our food. Not as we don't keep as a pet.
And they weren't always the source of food as well. They were part of the natural habitat.
Yeah. It's kind of like the what you call this food chain. They follow the food chain of us human, right?
Yeah, and I guess what humans do now to animals really does not resemble a food chain at all, like what you saw in the videos.
Yeah, right.
Forcibly impregnating and breeding these animals into existence and keeping them, enslaved, and the numbers that we do it and in the way that we do it, none of that resembles a food chain in nature, does it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Okay, great. Do you have any questions for me?
When you eat meat, the meat lovers, the non-veg people, always try to don't waste the meat. This animal get abused and get killed, and some kind of for dairy too. The mothers and their kids are separated after they were born, and you have to be aware of these kind of stuff. And for all the meat eaters, try your best to transform into being a vegetarian. Vegan, yes.
Thanks, man. You're doing my job for me. All right. Are you happy to cut it there?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.